Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh untuk Ibu Dini, Marina, dan teman-teman sekalian. Kami dari kelompok FGD 1 akan merepresentasikan sebuah roleplay berjudul Kopi Panas, Konflik Timur Tengah, dan 6 mahasiswa diplomat. Dengan tema kami adalah peran mahasiswa dalam hubungan internasional dengan studi kasus konflik antara Amerika Serikat, Israel, dan Iran yang sedang ramai diberitakan. Roleplay ini menunjukkan bagaimana mahasiswa diplomat bisa terpecah belah oleh isu global, lalu perlahan belajar bahwa tugas mereka bukan memilih kubu, melainkan memahami akar masalah dan menyebarkan literasi. Dengan saya, Farasa Hazima Nazir sebagai narator dan berikut kelompok.
Bisa mana ya? Wah, jadi laptopnya ada tuh.
Kamu nggak saja di grup ngomong lagi ke toilet ya? Jadi kita berhenti di sini aja ya. Ini nih kita tugasnya ngapain sih? Disuruh video? Nonton video?
Kayaknya kita suruh nontonin dulu deh. Sorry banget, gue dari toilet tadi. Kalian udah datang dari tadi?
Nggak, udah
Ini nih videonya, kita tonton aja yuk. Ayo, play ya.
What's happening here right now
Iran.
is having an impact in the Middle East and beyond.
Oh my God!
To understand why so many countries are affected by the US-Israel war with Iran, we need to look at some maps. The first thing you need to know about Iran is that it's enormous. It's bigger than France, Germany, and Spain combined, and 90 million people live there. Because it's so big, it links together huge parts of Asia and the Middle East.
Iran has always been seen as a kind of gateway to the east, and from the east as a gateway to the west. In the south is the Persian Gulf, one of the most important waterways for oil supplies as well as agricultural trade and general supplies.
Iran and 7 other countries border the Gulf, and the relationships have often been strained.
Iran doesn't really have many friends in the neighborhood. And the relationship between Iran and the rest of the Gulf states has been, very tense ever since the revolution started in 1979.
The revolution changed Iran completely. The religious leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini returned from exile and established an Islamic republic. It was a turning point, and not just for Iran's relationship with its neighbors in the Gulf, but also with the US and its closest ally in the region, Israel. They became arch enemies. Iran's leaders have consistently rejected the legitimacy of the state of Israel and say the US is its greatest enemy. Israel and the US oppose Iran's nuclear program because they say Iran has been trying to make a nuclear bomb. The Iranian government has repeatedly said its nuclear program is entirely peaceful and denies that it is seeking to develop nuclear weapons. So let's look at that map again. The US has a military presence in all these countries across the Middle East. And here's Israel. It's only about 1,000 kilometers from Iran at its closest point. They're all within striking distance of Iran's missiles.
Iran has quite an impressive missile stockpile. They have quite a range of missiles that are able to travel various distances from a few hundred kilometers to a few thousand kilometers. It also has quite an impressive drone technology they have utilized in the recent conflict.
Iran's defense strategy isn't just missiles and drones. Since the revolution, Iran has been seeking to export its ideology. Through the years, it has expanded its influence in the region by supporting a network of well-armed militias, collectively called the Axis of Resistance.
Iran has built a forward defense mechanism by building out these relationships with these groups.
Over time, this included Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, as well as groups in Iraq and the former Syrian regime.
There was always this underlying logic that Israel would not carry out systematic, long-term strikes against Iran simply because that would trigger Hezbollah, and Hezbollah with 100,000 rockets would bear down on Israel.
But since the war in Gaza, Israel has weakened many of these groups. So that's what the relationships in the region looked like at the beginning of 2026. And then this happened.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
The US and Israel hit sites across Iran and killed the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
במשך 3.5 עשורים רודן אכזר זה שלח טרור לרחבי העולם, אמלל את עמו, ושקד כל הזמן, בלי הרף, על התוכנית להשמדת ישראל.
Iranian officials said a US strike also hit a school, killing more than 153 people, including many children. The US military said it was looking into reports of the incident. Iran called the US-Israeli attacks unprovoked, illegal, and illegitimate. The Secretary General of the UN condemned the military escalation.
We are witnessing a grave threat to international peace and security.
Iran has retaliated by striking Israel, and also other countries in the Middle East where the US has a presence. And it's not just hitting military targets. Luxury hotels, shopping malls, airports, oil installations, and apartment buildings have also been damaged.
They want to hit the key infrastructure in the Gulf Arab states. They want to hurt the potential tourist industry that those states are developing and hurt confidence of investors that are being attracted into the region.
From a strategic point of view, Iran was probably trying to use this as a way to pressure the Gulf countries to then pressure the US to stop bombing Iran.
Iran has carried out limited retaliatory strikes on US bases in Gulf countries in the past, but nothing on this scale has been seen before. And fighting has spread beyond the Gulf countries. For example, Israel's military and Hezbollah, the militia that Iran has been supporting for decades, are fighting in Lebanon. And far outside the conflict zone in the Indian Ocean, a US submarine torpedoed an Iranian warship, killing at least 80 people. And there's another way Iran has responded to the strikes, in this bit of water. This is the Strait of Hormuz. It's what is called a choke point. It's a narrow strategic route for global trade that is used 24/7. This bit here is just 39 kilometers wide. This shipping route is how we get 20% of the world's oil and gas, as well as 30% of urea that helps us make fertilizer to grow food. Iran is using its military to disrupt traffic through the strait, which is something they've done before.
It's a very important trump card. Shipping companies are no longer going to the Straits of Hormuz because they're worried their tankers or their ships might get stuck.
Gulf countries use the strait to import some food and products from other parts of Asia. So closing it comes at a price for Iran too.
This is something the Iranian regime has decided. We're just going to have to bear the economic cost of this, bear the burden of this, but we're just going to make everybody hurt as a consequence of this.
And we can see the impact of that already. The price of oil has gone up, and you can see from this time lapse how the strait was incredibly busy before, and now it's not. And there's another choke point that could disrupt global trade. It's not in Iran's control, but it's close to one of its remaining allies, the Houthis, the militia group based in Yemen. Ships crossed the narrow Bab el-Mandeb Strait to go through the Suez Canal and up into the Mediterranean Sea. The Houthis have attacked ships in this region before. And the alternative route, going around the Cape of Good Hope, is longer and a lot more expensive.
The Middle East and this region, really, it's a key point in the global supply chain. It just depends how long this conflict is going to go on.
Udah selesai nih videonya, Des. Menurut kalian gimana?
Gue sih tegas, Israel itu sekutu AS, Iran dukung Hizbullah dan Hamas. Jelas provokator, AS cuma melindungi kepentingannya, itu hak semua negara.
Jangan lupa, AS tuh udah berpuluh-puluh tahun intervensi Timur Tengah. Iran tuh cuma ngerespon. Ini ibaratnya ya, anak kecil dipukul, terus pas ngebales malah dibilang nakal. Setuju banget, Israel juga nggak pernah dihukum atas pendudukannya di Palestina. Dunia timpang, mahasiswa harusnya kritis, bukan ikut-ikutan harus barat.
Kritis atau anti barat buta, lo baca sumber dari mana sih? CNN aja nggak cukup tau, lo baca dulu tuh The Jerusalem Post.
Ya lu juga baca dari mana? Fox News, itu jelas-jelas bias kanan. Gue sih bacanya laporan dari Al Jazeera sama PBB.
Al Jazeera mah punya Qatar, punya kepentingan sendiri.
Dua-duanya bener punya bias, makanya kita harus baca dari banyak sumber.
Pada berantem mulu, udahlah, mereka semua tuh juga gak ada yang punya kuasa untuk bisa ngubah apapun. Mending juga pada tidur.
Gue cuma mau bilang, ini cuma mahasiswa loh di Indonesia. Apa yang kita ngurusin sih konflik berkepanjangannya di luar negeri itu? Siapa sih yang diuntungkan sebenarnya?
Loh, kok jadi nyalain kita? Emang nggak boleh punya pendapat? Ini namanya kepedulian.
Pendapat atau ikut-ikutan bias media? Lo aja nggak baca laporan PBB soal sanksi AS ke Iran yang bikin rakyat susah?
Sanksi itu karena Iran langgar perjanjian nuklir, udah jelas.
Udah, cukup. Bubar. Masing-masing kita nanti baca 3 jurnal, kumpulin sumber. Nanti habis sesi 4 kita kumpul lagi. Nanti gue beliin es teh.
Minimal Indomie. Beli es teh.
banget udah sampai kelupaan kayak gini. Oh ya, sama aja dia ngomong ya guys. Iya guys.
Oke, gue ada aturan main. Setiap orang cuma punya waktu 2 menit untuk menyampaikan temuan dari masing-masing yang udah kalian baca. Nggak boleh memotong. Setelah kalian selesai, kita cari titik temu. Siapa yang mau mulai?
Oke, gue mulai duluan ya. Dari sumber yang gue baca, Council on Foreign Relations bilang Iran meningkatkan aktivitas nuklirnya. AS dan Israel khawatir. Tapi Iran bilang itu untuk tujuan damai. Poinnya, trust issue antara kedua belah pihak udah terlalu dalam.
Nih, kalau yang gue baca dari International Crisis Group, sanksi AS ke Iran itu justru bikin rakyat biasa jadi susah. Sementara rezimnya si Iran ini makin keras. Ironisnya, sanksi itu nggak bikin Iran mundur, malah bikin mereka nekat. Jadi, solusi sanksi itu sih kontraproduktif.
Nah, kalau gue bacanya dari kantor PBB untuk koordinasi urusan kemanusiaan. Tahun lalu nih, 15 juta orang Iran butuh bantuan medis karena nggak bisa impor obat akibat sanksi. Itu pelanggaran HAM.
Kalau yang gue baca dari Haaretz, media Israel kiri gitu, mereka bilang pemerintah Israel sengaja nggak besar-besarin ancaman Iran biar dapat dana. Jadi ada kepentingan politik dalam negeri juga.
Ya kalau gue sih baca dari Reuters aja. Menurut gue kesimpulannya nih, mereka berdua tuh sama-sama bisa cari muka doang. Kayak gimana ya, sama-sama caper deh. Jadi makanya ada deadlock di situ.
Nah, kalau gitu sekarang gue tanya deh, apa peran mahasiswa dalam konflik ini?
Menurut gue, bukan milih kubu, tapi melawan polarisasi. Banyak anak muda tuh di sosmed, bukannya baca sumber yang lengkap, mereka malah cuma ikut-ikutan.
Gue akui, gue tadi terlalu cepat memihak. Gue kira tuh pro AS itu jadi keren. Padahal gue juga nggak tahu sih sejarahnya. Sorry ya.
Gue juga minta maaf ya, gue anti barat banget.
Dan kita yang meliterasi publik, share konten yang balance, bukan yang paling provokatif.
Oke deh kalau gitu. Jadi apa yang mau kita lakuin sekarang?
Gue ada ide, gimana kalau misalnya kita bikin poster isinya sebelum pro kontra, baca dulu 3 sumber berbeda, terus kita pasang di IG masing-masing.
Jujur itu idenya bagus sih. Bisa deh gue nanti ngedikin. Daripada lu pada debat mulu, capek gue dengernya.
Yaudah kalau gitu kita tutup aja kali ya dengan kayak gitu. Siapa tahu Pak Dika ngasih kita nilai plus.
Yaudah yuk ke kantin. Sekarang gue deh yang traktir es teh
2 porsi ya.
Aman aja. Yuk.
Sekian roleplay dari kelompok kami. Dari drama singkat ini, kita belajar bahwa peran mahasiswa dalam hubungan internasional, terutama dalam kasus mahasiswa sebagai diplomat yang mewakili berbagai negara, termasuk Indonesia itu sendiri. Pertama, menahan diri dari polarisasi, yaitu tidak langsung memihak sebelum membaca banyak sumber. Jadi alangkah baiknya saat kita menerima suatu data, kita pilah-pilah dulu mana informasi yang faktual dan mana yang bisa menjadi hoax gitu. Kita verifikasi dulu kebenarannya seperti apa. Dan yang kedua, menjadi literatur digital, itu menyebarkan informasi yang akurat dan berimbang. Ketiga, memahami bahwa konflik global itu kompleks. Tidak ada kubu yang sepenuhnya hitam atau putih ya. Dan sebagai warga negara Indonesia, kita bisa mengadopsi prinsip bebas aktif dalam bersikap, yaitu tidak memusuhi siapapun, tapi aktif mendorong perdamaian. Ya, sekian dari kelompok kami. Mohon maaf jika ada kekurangan. Terima kasih.